Most people think their lifespan is determined by genes, but science says otherwise. After age 70, the strongest predictor of how long you'll live has less to do with your DNA and more to do with your daily habits. There are 7 powerful signs that silently reveal how much time you really have left. These aren't guesses. They're backed by research, and they show up long before illness ever does. Stay to the very end, because the final sign is the most overlooked one, yet it predicts whether you'll stay alive or simply exist. Your walking speed. It might seem like nothing, a subtle shift, a slightly slower pace when crossing the street, a hesitation before stepping off the curb, a moment of pause when someone passes you on the sidewalk. But make no mistake, your walking speed tells a story, and it's one of the most accurate, most reliable predictors of how long you'll live. Not because walking is exercise, but because walking and how fast you do it is a window into your entire body's performance. According to studies published in the Journal of the American Medical Association and reinforced by decades of geriatric research, seniors who walk at or above 0.8 meters per second, that's about 2.7 feet per second, live significantly longer than those who move slower. That one number may not mean much on paper, but in real life it tells us whether your heart is strong, whether your legs still carry you with power, whether your brain is firing fast enough to coordinate motion and avoid falls. It's not just about speed, it's about integration. Your walking pace is the scoreboard of your entire nervous system. When your pace slows, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like your muscles suddenly give out. It happens quietly. Your posture softens, your foot strike becomes lighter, your stride shortens, you start watching the ground more than your surroundings. Your reaction time slips just a little. These changes are small at first, but together they point to something bigger. Your systems are downshifting. And the body doesn't do that without reason. When walking slows, it's often because of declining cardiovascular strength. Maybe the heart is no longer pumping with the force it once did, or maybe the lungs aren't pulling in enough oxygen per breath. It might be because the hips and knees are stiffer, the muscles weaker, the coordination less automatic. It might even be a sign that your brain's processing speed, the speed at which it reacts to the environment, is beginning to lag. So if your walking speed has noticeably declined over the past year, pay attention. That is your body speaking. That is your nervous system tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "We need help." But here's the good news. This is not a one-way slide. Walking speed is one of the most trainable metrics you have. You can earn it back. You can improve it. You can add power to your stride, length to your gait, rhythm to your steps. All it takes is intentional practice. You don't need a gym. You don't need a treadmill. You just need a place to walk and a decision to move. Start with what you have. Walk for 10 minutes a day, then 15, then 20. Not just strolling, but brisk walking. A pace where you feel your body engage, where you breathe deeper, where your arms swing, where you focus on your stride. That's when the magic starts. That's when your circulation improves, your heart rate adapts, your lungs expand, your coordination sharpens, and your brain begins to believe again that this body is still ready, still responsive, still alive. Walking speed also affects your confidence. People who walk slowly often don't feel safe, and when you don't feel safe, you hesitate. You look down instead of forward. You lose your center. You shorten your steps. That creates a cycle. Less confidence leads to slower movement, which leads to more fear, which leads to even less movement. But when you start walking briskly again, you send a signal to your whole body. We've still got it. And that signal ripples into every corner of your life. Let's not forget the emotional power of movement. A brisk walk doesn't just wake up your muscles, it clears your mind. It releases endorphins. It stabilizes your mood. It resets your perspective. Walking fast is one of the simplest, safest ways to feel alive again, to feel strong, to remember what it means to move through the world on your own terms. If you've been told to slow down with age, challenge that idea. You don't need to sprint. You don't need to run. But you do need to keep your walking speed alive. Because it's not just a pace. It's a lifeline. The body that walks slowly becomes the body that sits more, rests more, avoids stairs, avoids errands, avoids outings. But the body that moves quickly, even for just a few minutes a day, stays in the world. Active, engaged, independent. So measure your pace not with numbers, but with honesty. Can you walk across a parking lot without pausing? Can you keep up with someone 10 years younger? Can you finish a walk without feeling drained or sore? If yes, protect that ability. Train it, maintain it, if no, rebuild it. Slowly, steadily, every step counts. Because your walking speed is not just a sign of how you move. Grip strength. It might sound like a small thing, your grip. The way your fingers hold a coffee mug, twist a doorknob, or tighten around a grocery bag. But what's behind that grip is not small at all. In fact, your grip strength might be the most honest health test you'll ever take. It doesn't lie. It doesn't hide. It quietly tells the truth about your heart, your brain, your nervous system, your future, all through the strength of your hands. Research from The Lancet, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, found something that shocked even doctors. Grip strength is a stronger predictor of death than blood pressure. Yes, you read that right. The force in your hands, not your cholesterol, not your BMI, not even your resting heart rate, can tell more about your life expectancy than almost anything else. Why? Because grip strength isn't just about muscles. It's about connection. It reveals how well your brain communicates with your body. It shows whether your nervous system is still firing with precision, whether your vascular system is delivering nutrients to the extremities, whether your body still responds under pressure. A weak grip is never just about weak hands. It's a sign that something deeper is slipping. The heart may not be pumping as forcefully, blood may not be circulating properly, muscle mass may be shrinking faster than it should. The nervous system may be struggling to send clear signals, and when you start to lose that neural connection, that ability to hold, squeeze, and carry, the decline doesn't stop at the wrist. It moves inward. You begin to struggle with daily life, opening jars, turning keys, holding a pan without dropping it, picking up a grandchild, carrying groceries. Even writing or buttoning a shirt can become frustrating, and most people brush it off. They think it's just arthritis, or just getting older. But the body is not giving up, it's asking for help. And that help comes through use, not avoidance. The good news: you can rebuild your grip. You can bring strength back to your hands, and with it, reignite the entire system that controls motion and coordination. Because the hands are the final link in a long chain: brain, spine, nerves, muscles, tendons, grip. When you strengthen that final link, you pull the entire chain tighter. You remind your body how to function as one. Start simple. Use a grip trainer, a handheld resistance tool that strengthens your forearms and fingers. Keep one next to your couch or in the car. Use a stress ball, squeeze it 10-15 times per hand every evening. Hang from a sturdy bar if you're able, even if your feet are still on the ground. Carry your own bags, even the light ones. Don't let others do everything for you. Reclaim the habit of using your hands actively, daily, intentionally. Even small acts help. Squeezing a towel, tightly wringing out a cloth, opening a stubborn lid with both hands and a firm twist. These moments, if done often, retrain your muscles and reignite your nervous system. And what's amazing is this: as grip strength returns, so does your confidence. Your posture improves. Your walking gait becomes more grounded. Your balance stabilizes. You trust yourself more. And that changes how you interact with the world. Because people who feel strong in their body take more initiative. They speak up. They move with intention. They participate in life instead of spectating. It's not about building bodybuilder hands. It's about keeping your functional independence. The ability to lift yourself, support yourself, protect yourself. To know that if you trip, you can catch your fall. That if you carry a bag, your hands won't give out halfway. That if something slips, you can grab it and not freeze. And there's one more piece no one talks about: grip strength protects your brain. Cognitive studies have shown that people with stronger hands tend to have sharper minds, because grip is a direct reflection of motor control, and motor control is deeply connected to executive function, memory, and focus. So yes, grip is strength, but it's also intelligence, awareness, stability, longevity. If you've noticed your grip weakening, don't ignore it. That's not just old age. That's your system calling for attention. And the answer is not more medication, it's more activation. Your body will respond. It always does. You just have to give it the stimulus it needs. Start today. Pick something up and carry it a little longer. Squeeze, hold, hang. Train your grip and train your life back into your hands. Because strong grip equals sign strong heart. Strong grip equals sign sharp brain. Strong grip equals sign longer life. Don't let go of that. Your sense of purpose. There's something deeply biological about purpose, something that reaches far beyond motivation or mindset. It's not just about staying busy. It's not just about having goals. Purpose is the silent engine behind everything that works in your body. And when that engine goes quiet, everything else starts to slow down. Your hormones, your brain function, your immunity, your balance, even your will to move. But when purpose is alive, truly alive, something in you stays lit, and that light protects you. We tend to think of purpose as something big, a career, a legacy, a mission to change the world. But at this stage in life, purpose is much simpler. It's about having a reason to wake up. Something that makes you sit up in bed instead of staying there. Something that keeps your mind turning, your body moving, your emotions engaged with the living world around you. It could be a person, a project, a quiet habit, a walk, a prayer, a daily promise to yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, it only matters that it exists. Because here's what the science says: people who have a clear sense of purpose live longer. In fact, a major study from the University of Michigan found that individuals with strong purpose, regardless of health status, age, or income, were significantly less likely to die during the study period. That's not just correlation. That's biology. Purpose regulates stress hormones. It sharpens focus. It improves sleep. It lowers markers of inflammation. It gives your brain a reason to stay sharp and your body a reason to stay active. But when purpose fades, the decline is fast and it's often invisible. It begins with restlessness, then boredom, then a quiet kind of withdrawal. You start sleeping in later. You cancel plans. You say things like, "I don't really care," or "What's the point?" The days blend together. You eat more out of habit than hunger. You move less even though you're not in pain. You feel heavier even if your body isn't. And over time, your nervous system starts to downshift. It no longer prepares for action. It no longer anticipates the future. It simply exists, and eventually, it stops. That's why retirement is dangerous, not because rest is wrong, but because disconnection is deadly. Too many people retire from work and think they can finally relax, but they also retire from challenge, from responsibility, from urgency, and within months or years, they begin to deteriorate, not from overwork, from underengagement, because the body doesn't just need rest, it needs direction. You have to tell your body every day through action, we still have something to do, something worth caring about, something worth showing up for. That's what keeps the brain producing neurotransmitters. That's what keeps your immune system alert. That's what keeps your muscles firing and your memory sharp. Purpose doesn't just keep you focused, it keeps you physically alive. So ask yourself honestly, what still excites me? What still makes me curious? What would I do even if no one noticed? That answer doesn't need to be loud or impressive. It could be writing a note to a grandchild, growing a tomato, reading scripture, teaching one person what you know, feeding birds, mentoring someone younger, creating something, finishing something, caring for someone, praying for someone. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be real. Because without that emotional anchor, the days lose meaning. And when the days lose meaning, the body loses structure. And when structure is gone, the body forgets how to thrive. It starts to drift. And drifting is how people disappear, not from death, but from disconnection. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can reignite purpose right now. At any age, you can choose something to care about again. You can give your nervous system a new signal. You can tell your lungs, we've got work to do. You can tell your heart, keep pumping, someone still needs me. You can tell your hands, we're not done creating. You can remind your soul, we're not just waiting, we're still becoming. That shift doesn't require a life overhaul. It starts with a choice to participate again, to serve again, to notice again. And when you do, you'll feel the energy come back. The focus, the strength, the appetite, the steadiness in your walk, the rhythm in your sleep, the clarity in your thoughts, because the body follows the mind's commitment. So if you've lost your sense of purpose, don't shame yourself, but don't ignore it either. That emptiness is not just part of aging. It's a signal, and like every signal from the body, it's asking you to respond. Find your reason, small or large, public or private, personal or shared. Let it move you. Because the moment you remember why you're still here, you stop drifting and you start living again. Resting heart rate. There's a quiet rhythm inside your chest, steady, consistent, often unnoticed. But if you listen closely, it tells you everything about how your body is doing. It's not dramatic like a fever. It doesn't ache like a sore joint. It doesn't demand your attention unless something is wrong. But it holds the key to your energy, your clarity, your longevity. It's your resting heart rate, and it may be the single most powerful number your body gives you every day. A healthy resting heart rate for older adults typically sits between 60 and 70 beats per minute. That means when you're calm, sitting still, not under any kind of stress, your heart only needs to beat about once per second to keep everything in your body alive and supplied. That is efficiency, that is balance, that is the result of a well-regulated cardiovascular system, a system that knows how to do its job without panic, without strain, without unnecessary pressure. And that's what we want as we age, not just strength, but calm efficiency, a heart that doesn't overwork just to keep us upright. A heart that has reserves when we need to climb stairs, carry groceries, or fight off an illness. Because when your resting heart rate is consistently low, but not too low, it means your body isn't living in a constant state of alarm. It's living in a state of readiness and recovery. Now here's the truth most people don't realize. Your resting heart rate isn't fixed. It's trainable. And for many seniors, it starts climbing slowly, often without symptoms. One day you feel slightly winded after a short walk. Another day your sleep isn't quite as deep. You get irritable easier. You feel more fatigued, but can't quite explain why. Then one day at the doctor's office, they measure your resting heart rate and it's sitting in the mid-80s or higher. This is your warning. A resting heart rate consistently over 80 beats per minute has been linked to significantly higher risks of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and all-cause mortality. That means your heart is under strain even at rest. It's like an engine revving in park. Nothing looks wrong from the outside, but under the hood, the system is burning out faster than it should. Over time, that strain wears on your arteries. It taxes your brain. It disrupts your hormones. It makes recovery harder after even minor illness or injury. But here's the empowering part. This is reversible. You can lower your resting heart rate, often without medication, often within weeks. You can bring your body back to a state of calm resilience, not by trying harder, but by practicing the things your nervous system craves: oxygen, movement, hydration, and rhythm. Start with your breath, one of the simplest and most powerful tools you have. Just 5 minutes of slow, diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose for 4 seconds, out through the mouth for 6 can begin to lower your heart rate in real time. Do this in the morning, before meals, before bed. It tells your body we're safe now. And when your body feels safe, it doesn't panic, it doesn't race. Then look at your movement. You don't need to run, but you do need to walk briskly, daily, with purpose. Just 20-30 minutes a day of walking lowers cortisol, improves circulation, trains your heart to beat more efficiently, and builds what's called cardiovascular reserve. That's your buffer, the space between effort and overwhelm. When you build that buffer, your heart doesn't have to spike under small amounts of stress. It stays calm under pressure. Support this with hydration. Dehydrated blood is thicker, harder to pump, and puts more strain on the heart. Aim for steady water intake throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. Add a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte powder if needed. Your heart is a pump, and like all pumps, it performs best when the fluid it moves is light, smooth, and balanced. And don't forget magnesium. This mineral is essential for regulating heartbeat, relaxing blood vessels, and calming the nervous system. Most seniors are deficient without knowing it. A high-quality magnesium supplement like magnesium glycinate or citrate, or foods like leafy greens, avocado, pumpkin seeds, and dark chocolate can make a noticeable difference in heart rate within a matter of days. So if your resting heart rate is high, don't ignore it. But don't fear it either. It's not a diagnosis. It's an invitation, a chance to return to rhythm, a chance to give your heart and, by extension, your entire body the permission to slow down and strengthen. And if your resting heart rate is already low and healthy, protect it. Don't wait for illness to start building your habits. Keep breathing, keep walking, keep hydrating, Keep calming your system every day, even when you feel fine. Because a calm heart is a capable heart. A calm heart is a longer living heart. And a calm heart gives you the gift that no pill ever could, peace inside your own body. How quickly you recover from a setback. Resilience doesn't come with a timer. It's not measured in minutes or hours. It's measured in how you respond not just to the good days, but to the bad ones. It's how quickly you bounce back after a fall, an illness, a disappointment, a loss. And as it turns out, your recovery speed might be one of the most accurate predictors of how long you'll live. Most people think longevity is about avoiding setbacks. But that's not how life works, especially in your later years. Setbacks come. A cold that lingers longer than expected. A stumble on the stairs. The loss of someone you love. A change in routine that throws you off emotionally. These moments aren't unusual, they're part of the landscape of aging. What matters isn't whether they happen, but how quickly you come back from them. Because recovery speed tells us something deeper. It tells us that your body still adapts, that your nervous system can regulate after stress, that your immune system doesn't stay inflamed, that your mind doesn't get stuck in the loop of grief or frustration, that you still have the inner flexibility to bend without breaking, and that more than any lab result or fitness tracker is a sign that you're still very much alive. Let's start with the physical side. Say you catch a cold. Do you recover in a few days, or does it drag on for weeks? Say you strain your back, does it settle quickly with some rest and movement, or does it keep flaring up every time you try to return to normal life? The older you get, the more these questions matter, because delayed recovery isn't just about aging bones or slower metabolism. It's about chronic inflammation. It's about a system that's no longer turning off the fight response when it should, and that's a red flag. Quick recovery means your immune system knows what to do: respond, repair, release. It means your hormones are still cycling properly. It means your cells still listen to the body's commands. And it means your mindset supports healing instead of resisting it. Now let's talk about the emotional side. Resilience here looks different, but it's just as vital. How long do you stay upset after a bad interaction? How many days does grief keep you from eating well, sleeping, or calling a friend? How deeply does disappointment sink into your bones before you shake it off and move again? People who bounce back faster emotionally aren't cold or heartless. They're regulated. Their nervous systems don't overcook every hardship. They don't marinate in self-pity. They don't deny sadness, they move through it. That kind of emotional regulation is protective. It lowers cortisol, reduces inflammation, and protects memory and sleep. In fact, studies have shown that people who process grief more efficiently experience fewer long-term physical illnesses. Why? Because their system lets go. But this kind of recovery isn't just luck or genetics, it's a practice, a skill you can strengthen. Start with routine. The body loves rhythm. Wake up at the same time, eat meals at regular intervals, move your body every day, even just lightly. This gives your nervous system anchors so that when disruption comes, it doesn't unravel completely. It returns to center more easily. Then build connection. Don't isolate when something goes wrong. Don't shut down and disappear. Recovery is always faster in community. A simple phone call, a coffee with a neighbor, a laugh with your grandchild, these are not just social events. They are biological upgrades. They bring your system back online. And perhaps most importantly, trust your capacity to heal, even when things take time, even when the setback is large. The body listens to belief. If you believe you're fragile, it becomes fragile. If you believe you're still adaptable, still trainable, still capable of recovery, your body responds accordingly. That belief alone can change your chemistry. Resilience doesn't mean you never fall. It means you don't stay down. It means your bones still rebuild after strain. Your lungs still strengthen after illness. Your mind still clears after confusion. Your hope still returns after disappointment. And your energy still rises after loss. If you've noticed you're slower to recover lately, don't panic, but don't accept it as your new normal either. Ask why. Is your sleep broken? Are you moving less? Are you holding on to stress with no outlet? Are you connected to others? Or are you retreating into silence? Your answers matter because they guide your recovery plan. You can become more resilient at any age. Your body is designed to adapt until your final breath. It may take more patience now, more intention, more listening, But that power is still in you. So the next time you face a setback, don't just endure it. Watch how you rise. Because that's where your real age shows up. Not in the mirror, but in your recovery time. Your social circle. Loneliness kills. Research from Harvard confirms that social isolation is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. If you go days without talking to someone, if you feel invisible, or if you've withdrawn from regular connection, that's a silent risk. But even one deep, meaningful relationship changes everything. Make it a goal to talk, share, listen daily. Social ties strengthen immunity, reduce depression, and increase lifespan. Your optimism. This final one may surprise you. Seniors who believe their future will still bring joy, love, or progress live longer. Optimism isn't blind positivity, it's emotional momentum. It shows that your spirit hasn't given up. Studies from Yale show that people with a positive perception of aging live 7.5 years longer on average. That's not placebo, that's biology responding to belief. Final wisdom. Your future is not written in your genetics, it's hidden in your actions. Each of these signs is not just a reflection, it's a choice, a signal from your body and your mind that tells you exactly what needs your attention. So don't ignore them. Start now, because the secret to living long is living aware. And every day you stay aware is another day you stay alive.